So now we have completed our sticky navbar. Now we are going to work on this collaboration section. So go here and inside the component make one more folder named collaboration and then make a file named collaboration.tsx and import that to here. Collaboration. Now save it and go back here, and now we are going to work on this. First let's make it a client component, then we are going to import use state, and then we are going to import code space and import hover card and import motion from framer motion. And now inside the function we are going to define some states which will be hovered, set hovered, use state, false, then duplicate it and change this to 1, 1, then one more time 2 and 2. Then we are going to define our variants which you can copy from here. So copy these two and paste here and make this to 0.1 and remove this, add y0 and here y40, and then we are going to write out jsx. So remove this and we are going to give a class name max w1280 pixels mx auto. Then inside the div we are going to have one more div with a class name of flex md pl7 space x3 md space x10. Then inside this we are going to have one more div, the class name flex call item center, and inside this we are going to have motion dot div, and here we are going to provide initial value to opacity 0, and while in view we are going to have opacity 1. In transition we are going to have delay of 0.5 seconds. Then we are going to have a class name of relative, and inside this div we are going to have our svg, and below this we are going to have a span with the class name of absolute left 0 top 0 h full w full home campaign glowing icon glow 2 and then z3. Now let's save and go here, and let me give some margin bottom here, margin bottom of 32. And now let's go, and you can see that now we have our icon and the glowing effect. After that let's go back to the collaboration. Now outside this div we are going to have one more motion dot div, and inside that we are going to have initial value to be height 0, and then while in view we are going to have height 100%. Then I'm going to give a transition of delay 0.8 seconds, then a class name h full w of 3 pixels, max md w of 2 pixels, empty7 rounded MD, then a background gradient to bottom from this color via this to transparent. And now if I save it, you cannot see anything now because right now we haven't added anything here. So let's add that. For that, below this div we are going to have one more motion dot div, and inside that we are going to have initial value opacity 0 and x value to be -30. Then while in view we are going to make opacity 1 and x value 0. Then transition delay will be 0.6 seconds and type will be tween. Then outside this we are going to have our classes mdw10 by 12 mb24. Inside that we are going to have a h2 tag with a class name text 20 pixels md text 2xl mb7 font medium text white, and then inside this we are going to add collaboration. Then below that we are going to have h3 tag with a class name of text 28 pixels md text 40 pixels and max md leading 8 max lg leading 10 lg text 5xl mb7 font medium text white. And now inside this tag we are going to have span with the class name of text, then with the class name inside that we are going to give a text color and we are going to write supercharge collaboration, and below span we are going to write some text. Now let's save and go here, and now you can see the text. And then below this div we are going to have image, and inside the image we are going to give a class name of wfull hauto dblock rounded lg border of 1 pixels, then border color width will be 2500 pixels, height will be 1500 pixels, and then we are going to provide our source URL. Now save and go here, and you can see that our image here. And with that, below this div we are going to have a component which is discount. Let's make this here discount.tsx tsrafce, and let's import it here. Now save it, and inside the discount we are going to make this area. So let's go here, and here first we are going to import our use state, then we are going to import our motion, then inside the function we are going to define some states. So it will be hovered, set hovered is equals to use state, initial value will be false, Now inside this, first we will give a class name. It will be flex relative and mdpl10. And inside this we are going to have an image, then we are going to give src, then class name absolute top 0 right 0 h auto pointer event none, and then we are going to provide the width. So width will be 2712 pixels, and then height will be 2712 pixels. Now below that we are going to have a div with a class name of flex item center, flex row relative. Inside this div we are going to have motion dot div, and initial value will be height 0, and while in view we are going to have height of 100%. Then we are going to have a class name. Inside that w will be 3 pixels max md, w will be 2 pixels, and h will be full, and increase 1. Now below that we are going to have an image. So this is the image that we are going to use, and then after this div we are going to have one more div with the class name lgpl24 mdpl16 pl6, and then inside this div we are going to have one more div with the class name of flex md flex call reverse my8 item center lg gap x5 sm my12 md my16 md my16 pb6 md pb20 md flex row, and this should be max md. Inside div we are going to have div with a class name of py4 mb2 and w full. Then inside that we are going to have motion dot div. We are going to provide initial value opacity 0 and x value is 30. Then while in view we are going to have opacity of 1 and x is equals to 0. Then transition, it will have a type of twin and duration of 0.3 seconds. Now after that we are going to have class name, and inside that mdpr6. Inside the div we are going to have h2 tag with a class name of mb4 text 2xl max lg text 20 pixels max md w10 by 12 lg w full and text color. Then inside h2 tag we are going to have a span, the class name font semi bold and text white, and inside that write GitHub issue and GitHub projects, and below that we are going to write some more text. And below the h2 tag we are going to have an anchor tag On mouse enter, we are going to set the hover value to true, and on mouse leave, we are going to set its value to false. Then we are going to have a class name py1, inline block, text excel, text white, font semi-bold, and inside the anchor tag, we are going to write explore GitHub issues, and then we are going to provide SVG. Now in the next line, we are going to have a div with the class name of, and ternary operator. If hovered is true, then we are going to have w 11 by 12 scale 100, otherwise w0 and scale 0. And we are going to have origin left, transition is in duration of 300 milliseconds, h of 2.5 pixels, bg white, and rounded full. Now let's save and go here, and as you can see, now we have our text and the button. And now we have to add an image over here. For that, go outside this div and make a motion.div, and here we are going to have initial value opacity 0 and y 30. Then we are going to have while in view opacity of 1, y 0, then transition, and it will be type of tween, duration of 0.3 seconds, and then we are going to have our class names py4, px6, w full, and inside this div we are going to have one more div with a class name of relative, and one more div with a class name of relative, and now inside this div we are going to have one more div with a class name of md absolute, z index of 1, top to minus 200 pixels, lg top minus 300 pixels, right 0, shadow 2xl. And inside this div we are going to have our image with these class names. And now let's save and go here, and now you can see our image. And lastly we have to make this part, so go again here. Outside this div we are going to have motion.div, and here we are going to provide the same value from here, paste, and change this to x minus 30, then x0. Then here we are going to provide a class name with mb10, md, mb32, pb4. And now inside this we are going to have a div with a class name of py4, text left. We are going to have one more div with a class name of z1, inline block, rounded full, px2, border to border color, then relative font medium, bg gradient to r, then from ffc to b2 to ff, from ff a2 8b to ffc2 b2, bg clip text and text transparent. Inside this div we are going to have a span with the class name of font semi bold, text 12 pixels. Then outside this div we are going to have a h3 tag with the class name of text 8p, mb2, mp3, lg text 6xl, md text 5xl, then text 3xl, font medium, and that 80% reduction. Now in next line we are going to have a p tag with the class name of mb3, md text xl, text base, font medium, text white, and then we are going to write in onboarding 1. Now let's save it and go back here. Now you can see that this part is here. Let me refresh this. Now you can see the animation. So with that this part is also ready, and now let's go back to the collaboration and start making other parts. Now below the discount we are going to have a div with a class name of wfull, hauto, rounded lg, border of 1 pixel, then border color 30363D, then flex justify between and item center. Now inside this div we are going to have a div with a class name of flex justify between md space x10 maxmd flex call, and then inside that we are going to have our hover card which gonna take background color ff828p, then direction will be flex call, then left value will be 0. We are going to have a div with a class name md flex call flex1 p8 smp10 lgpy16 lgpl16 lgpr32, and inside this div we are going to have a p tag with a class name of text xl, md text to Excel, then mb6 font medium, text color will be, then inside that we are going to have a span with the class name, text white, font semi bold, and inside that write GitHub actions. Then outside this span we are going to have our text, and now below this p tag we are going to have a div. Inside that we are going to have anchor tag, and on mouse enter we are going to change the set hover value to true, and on mouse leave we are going to change its value to false. After that we are going to have a class name here with py1 inline block, text Excel, text white, font semi bold, and inside this anchor tag we are going to write enable GitHub discussion, and below that we are going to have our svg, and then we are going to have a div with a class name of ternary operator. If hovered is true, then we are going to make its width of 11 by 12, scale 100, otherwise it will have a width of 0, scale 0, origin left, transition is in, duration of 300 milliseconds, height will be 2.5 pixels, bg white, and rounded full. Now let's save and go here, and now refresh, and you can see now we have our card here. And now let's make the right section of this card. Outside this div we are going to have our motion dot div, and here we are going to have initial value to be y20, and opacity will be 0. Then while in view we are going to have opacity of 1, and then y value will be 0. In transition we are going to give it's the type of twin, and then we are going to give a duration of 0.3 seconds. After that class name will be overflow hidden, overflow hidden, rounded slg. Inside this we are going to have our image, so this will be image, so this will be the image. And now let's save and go here, and you can see that now we have our image here. So our one card is ready. Now we have to make this card also. For that, copy and duplicate it and save. And now you can see that now we have two identical cards. We have to change the text and this image and also the left value. So here left value will be minus 400 pixels. Then change the anchor tag text and this text also, image also. And now let's save and go here. Now you can see that now we have two types of card, and also we have to change this as well, and this one as well, and this one as well. So now let's save and go here. And now you can see that, refresh it, can see the animation. And now after this we have to make this card. So let's go and make that. So outside this div we are going to have hover card, and inside that we are going to provide these values. The flex direction will be row and this will be 0. Now inside the hover card we are going to have a div with the class name of md flex, flex call, md space y20, flex 1, py20, p10, justify between, and inside this we are going to have a p tag. And let's copy this from here, copy and paste, and then change the value of text. And after that we are going to have div and anchor tag, so you can copy those from here, and here you have to change this from 1 to 2 to 2 2, and after that you also have to change this text. And let's go here, and you can see now we have one more card here. And now we have to make I think there is problem. Let's go here, and this should be 2 and this should be 1. So with that our left part is ready. We have to make this right part now. So for that let's go here, and after this div we are going to have one more div with a class name of overflow hidden rounded s lg z index of 1 flex 1, and then inside this div we are going to have motion dot div, and inside this motion of div we are going to have variants. So variant will be container, and we are going to define initial value will be hidden, and while in view will be show. Then we are going to have our classes. So class name flex, flex wrap, w full, relative, minus top 120 pixels, minus rotate 12 pixel, rotate 12, minus rotate 12 degree, minus right 6, minus empty 6, p6, max height will be 480 pixels, and inside this div we are going to have motion dot div, and here variant will be item, and transition where type will be tween, and then a class name of w1 by 3, and inside this div we are going to have an anchor tag with target blank, class name rounded md, bg will be border will be 0.5 pixels, border color will be flex, flex call, item center, m2, p6, and inside this anchor tag we are going to have an image, then a div with a class name of text my2, and we are going to write home div. In next line we are going to have a button, type button, and then a class name bg rounded empty. Inside this button we are going to have a span with a class name of flex item center justify between px2 py1 space x2. Then inside this span we are going to have svg and then a span with a class name of button label text and then write a sponsor. And now let's save and go here. And now you can see that our one card is here, and let me refresh it. You can see the animation. Similarly, we can make other cards as well. So I'm just going to copy that from my GitHub and paste it here. And let's save it and go back to the browser, refresh, and now you can see that all the cards coming with the animation. So with that, this card is also ready, and now we have to make this line. So for that, go back to the collaboration and outside this hover card, we are going to have a motion.div and initial value will be height 0. Then while in view, we are going to have height of 160 pixels. Then transition and delay of 0.2 seconds, 0.2 seconds. And then we are going to give a class md ml10 ml3 at 160 pixels, mt minus 20 pixel, w of 3 pixel, max md w 2 pixel, rounded md, then bg gradient to bottom from transparent. And now let's save and go back to the browser and you can see our line. Refresh it, you can see it. So with that, our collaboration section is also ready. This is productivity and this is collaboration.